Go on, go on.
So big up TNTS Creek, like, share and subscribe. Just met a revert brother here called Jordan, and I'm going to ask him basically how his story is and how he came towards Islam. So brother Jordan, how long have you been a Muslim, first of all?
7 months.
So 7 months, and your journey towards Islam, has it been longer than 7 months, or how did that come about?
So it probably was a good year before that. So I used to be very anti-Islam. So I used to be kind of like Tommy. I wasn't a Tommy fan, but I subscribed to, when Tommy started out talking about terrorism, grooming gangs, I was like, yeah, he's right. And in the back of my mind, I had a feeling that there was something going on with Islam. Even though I was never a racist guy, I had that feeling. But anyway, my sister converted years ago, but I never really spoke to her. So,
right.
so we fell out. She's younger. Didn't speak to her for like 10 years. Only since I converted.
Was that because she became a Muslim? You didn't speak?
No, she was a nightmare kid, and Islam helped her. I saw how Islam helped her, but I kind of just thought, she was wrong. But since then we are. But she had a baby, Iman, a little girl, and I was terrified for her because I thought, hang on a minute, she's going to grow up, she's going to have to cover herself, she's going to meet a Muslim guy who's going to beat her up, and I generally had those thoughts.
These are normal reservations that anyone would have,
Because now obviously I've got something in the game, I've got a family member, so I started looking into it to make sure that I've.
You see, he's new in his faith, you're lucky.
Ella. Oh, sorry.
You're not even Muslim.
Thanks, man. Cheers.
How much you got there now? £10?
Where was I?
Before you carry on, Jordan,
go on.
I got a problem with individuals like that. They come from EU states in this country, they get benefits. No, they're getting benefits because they don't have to get a visa and stuff to come here. They get benefits, She's getting housing benefit paid, she's getting child benefit, she's getting income support or working tax credit or whatever the hell she's getting, And that is force of habit, and they're going to still beg.
Are you sure that individual?
100%, all of them. If you're from the EU, brother, you answer that question for me, Jordan. When you come from the EU to this country, are you entitled to everything or not?
No, look, I'm a Brexiteer.
No. You're giving me your opinion there. I'm asking, in this day and age, does the government give you everything or not? If you're from the EU, all the benefits, you're entitled to straight away, right? So that's what I was getting at. So these people from the EU, they're entitled to all of these benefits, and out of force of habit, they will come on the streets dressed in a scarf and act like they're Muslims just to hit a nerve with the Muslims and beg. It's out of habit. So sorry, Jordan.
No, I agree, but the way I see it is, if there's a 1% chance that was a genuine lady who needed money, the pound in my pocket don't really make much difference.
Do you know what I normally offer them? I offer them, sister, what do you need?
Yeah.
And then if they ask me like food, I say, okay, sister, let me go and buy you the food. I'd rather not give them the money because a lot of the people in my area, they're crack addicts and stuff like that. So when you do give them an extra £1 or £2, that's only contributing for them to go and So anyway, sorry Jordan. So carry on. So your sister had a daughter called Iman. And then,
so I was terrified. So I started looking into it, and I mean, this place was one of I YouTubed it, and a lot of debates came up. I also read a lot of books about it, and every time I looked into something, whether it was I don't know, beat your wife or I don't know, anything to do with women in Islam, it seemed to be a really beautiful answer as to why she's now protected. So I came to the conclusion.
For the reasons why.
I came to the conclusion that Islam was helping my niece. So I thought, beautiful for her, And I actually started to think, well, hang on a minute, all the girls that aren't Muslim, they're the ones that are now in trouble because of all the values that Islam has. So then it led me to me, well, hang on a minute, this might be something for me as well. So I started looking into it more and more and more. I messaged.
Did you look into it on your own, or did you have like friends or someone?
Purely me. It was my little secret, and I just go on YouTube.
Oh, that's very interesting. A lot of people go through somebody, so you actually went on your own, took time out, and
look, I didn't want to become Muslim, and I didn't want anyone to know.
You probably hated it.
Ain't trendy. It ain't trendy. Like, it's not like being a Buddhist, where like everyone goes, oh wow, if you're a Muslim, for me, a lot of people will worry about me in my circles. So, but yeah, I messaged Hamza, who was great. I came down here, met him, and it was a fairly slow process, but he helped me as well. And the more I looked into it, and one day I thought, I believe this is the right way. I always believed in God anyway, but Islam was a very clear way, and Islam was a guide. Islam was a guide.
Christian before.
I was Christian, but as Christian as you can be. I used to go midnight mass, and that's about it for the church.
But you had the idea, concept of God.
And I thought I was a decent bloke. I thought morally I was alright anyway before. I've never been to prison. I enjoyed my life before. I enjoyed going out with different women. I enjoyed my life. But when I looked into Islam, the guide that I felt was coming out, it felt to me like, wow, this is something.
Islam teaches you more about the afterlife than like.
It does, yeah. So
the
purpose of life, and it was.
That's very touching story, man. It's nice, man. And like, what's really touching about it is because in the beginning you said you were a supporter of Tommy, not supporter so to say, but you used to follow what he says and things like that, right?
And look, if Tommy stuck to what he came out as we got to sort out terrorism, grooming gangs, I'd stand with him now and go, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But it's not that anymore. It's gone into, you know, the Quran and the film. And they're basically they're blurring that lines between peaceful Muslims and terrorism and putting them all into one. So
yeah, exactly.
Tommy's definitely contributing to this sort of witch hunt against Islam at the moment, which is.
I was just speaking to two white gentlemen over there just now, and we were speaking about the figure that they keep throwing out there, that 85% or 90% of the groomers are Pakistani. Yeah? Exactly, I'm getting.
Was it 85?
Yeah, they say 85% of the actual groomers are Pakistani. First of all, I'd like to make clear that even one Pakistani or Muslim doing this is enough for me to make a stand, right? So I'm not trying to like downplay anything. But that number has been given to us by the Quilliam Foundation. And the head of the Quilliam Foundation is a known ex-terrorist recruiter. Somebody that used to go out there and find gullible Muslims young enough to mold into his ideology, and he used to make them go and blow themselves up.
Majid Nawaz.
Pardon? Yes, Majid Nawaz.
Okay.
Majid Nawaz used to take young kids, like kids that are impressionable, easy to mold, and he used to make them, with his false ideology, go and fight against the Western forces and do suicide bombings and things like this, right? This same person has avoided all kinds of prison in this country, all kinds of sanctions and that, and instead of all of that happening to him, he has now become a figurehead, and so to speak, in this country, of in the forefront and trying to spread a message of peace for Muslims. Bro, in my eyes, he's not a Muslim, first of all, right? And I don't know where the UK government is putting their mind and brain that how they're letting these people come into power and after you're an ex-terrorist. I don't understand that, innit? An ex-terrorist should never be allowed on these kind of platforms, in these kind of positions of authority and power and influence too. Yeah. What do you think about that, brother?
Well, the 85% you're talking about has actually been debunked in the news, hasn't it? Because they looked at the figures that they did, and the police have actually looked into it, and they basically just made the figures to fit Asian people. So firstly, it was on-street grooming. So this is people that are working in kebab shops and taxis who are likely to be Pakistani. Then they only did girls between 11 to 16. So anyone younger, they missed all those figures out, and it's probably pretty obvious. It's probably because they probably weren't Pakistani people doing that thing. The other thing they also don't talk about is boys. There were some boy cases as well that they missed out. And because they're not Muslim, they weren't like so.
They weren't added into
and look, this 85% is a subcategory of a subcategory. So it's 3% of a whole paedophile problem, grooming gangs. It's a tiny proportion of our. You know, we've got a mass thing with our teachers, our sports coaches.
Say there's a paedophile ring problem in this country. You understand? The elites, they have paedophile rings. They have people that go out there and find these young.
They call them paedophile networks, paedophile ring, any different name. Obviously, grooming gangs is what we will talk about. If they're a white, they won't call them that. There'll be some other name.
Exactly.
And then the 85% looks like it's a Pakistani Muslim problem, and it's how people can link grooming to Islam. For me, when I've since converted, I don't understand it.
But I'll make it clear again, even one Muslim, one Pakistani is more than enough for us to stand up and do something about it, okay?
But you're Pakistani,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying. So don't get it twisted. Even one person does that, and we find out about it, we're against it, we're going to condemn them, and in our eyes, they should get the penalty of death by the law. But you lot need to change that law.
But do you think, is there an issue, because I don't think there is, but I have heard Pakistani people themselves say that there is an issue in the Pakistani community.
Brother, let me drop it like it's hot, yeah? I've lived all of my life in London, right? London City. I've never heard of anyone grooming anyone. I've never heard of no paedophiles from my community in London. But the news, the media, social media...
Nobody's happening up now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about, brother. So up north, the news, the social media, all that kind of stuff, people in the corner, all they keep speaking about is grooming gangs. So when I look at it, and the areas these people are coming from, they're remote parts of England, up north, right? And like, the people that are actually getting convicted of these crimes, there are a lot of them that they're showing, because I don't think they're showing everyone. So the people that they are showing are from my ethnic background, right? And I feel that, like I said, even one is too much. So I'm going to start speaking about it, highlighting it, and letting these people know that there are more Muslim Pakistanis that are against that.
You know, I understand why far-right people come down here and talk about grooming gangs, because if it's told you to in the media that it's happening, they want to protect their kids, and then they feel it happening. A lot of them do use it to their own agenda, but you do get some genuine people coming down here. that have a question about it because it's what's fed to them. So you know, that's why this place is great. You can actually talk to them.
Yeah, of course, man. I mean, it's lovely to... Sister, you came here already. Sister, you come here already.
You said you were going to buy us some food last time.
I'm telling you. No, but one thing, she's got about 20 pounds in her hand, right? She's done the runs. She's got 20 quid in her hand.
It's definitely happening though. So we have to speak about it.
Look, grooming's happening, but what I've failed to accept that you can say Pakistani grooming's a problem.
No, that's the problem.
Grooming is a
type 1
problem.
and type 2.
It's a problem epidemic around the country.
You should
for
just say-
our culture, his culture,
So there's
his culture, his
33,000 convictions this year, and 256 was grooming gangs.
But guys, don't you think
So
we
when
should
you
just say-
when you're putting a percentage on 256 from another percentage, what's 33,000? That's where they're going wrong. You see the mismatch.
See what I'm saying?
So when you say 85%, it is 85% Pakistani, but it's not. It's only 256. So if you put that 256 towards maybe 3 million people, it's not a Pakistani
So
problem.
you're saying out of 256 groomers, the 85% was Pakistani?
Yeah.
So 256 is a small number.
Yeah. But that's how they're using it to manipulate. Because there's type 1 and then there's type 2.
How many Pakistanis in this country, does anyone know?
Yeah, 2 million.
There's 2 million.
I mean,
So
there's
put
2
it.
million and 256 done it. So what
the percentage?
percentage is that? Is that 0.0005?
Why they
But that's
keep
still, it doesn't justify it. So we have to.
But anyway, even that's a problem,
Like
and
you
we're
said,
going to start
you
confronting it. Just let you.
So what they're doing
we're
with
not
it,
backtracking.
that's why we should not use statistics for something like this. Because it can be.
We shouldn't use names like Muslims.
They can say 100% type
We
1.
should just say paedophiles and
A white
grooming gangs. That's it.
paedophiles.
And yeah, and that's it.
That's what you can say.
And on
That
top of that, yeah, this is a divide. The British love to say to us, why don't you feel British? Why don't you accept the British status and stuff like that? When you don't keep saying Asian grooming gangs, this Muslim grooming gangs, we don't feel a part of Britain. You understand what I'm saying? So if you make me feel a part of Britain, maybe my kids will start saying I'm British. But at the moment, my kids are not going to say that.
yeah, but there's
if
a lot
you
of
don't
more,
change,
there's a
they
lot
might.
more issues behind it. Because where I'm from, a lot of them are speaking Urdu. There's not, it's very not. It's not. They're not
May I
cultured.
ask you, is it only the ladies speaking Urdu or the men too?
The men, no, the imams
Okay, in the mosque.
in the mosques,
Okay.
in the cupboards, and
Are you a Muslim, bro?
yes, I am
So
Muslim.
when you go to the mosque,
Yes, I went for
have
6.
you ever asked them? Can
No,
you
I went
speak
for 6
English?
months. I sat for Fajr for every day to
No,
change
but
it.
have you ever spoken and said, brother, I don't
Yes,
understand Urdu.
I've-
Why do you not speak in English?
What I'm saying is, I went to Fajr every morning, so basically, and I said to them that it needs to be English,
that's
and then they started to bring an English imam once a month, and then the brothers there, even the young lads were saying, "Oh, thank you, man. We need," because the young lads don't. I went round the
Yeah, a
full
lot of them
mosque,
don't understand
and I
Urdu.
said, "Do you understand this language?" Because I was sat there, me, and I was like, "Nah, this is not right." And I said to one of the kids, I said, "Can you understand that?" No. Well, do you know what happens to that kid then when he goes out of this mosque, he goes and meets someone who's not Muslim, and he understands them, and he's like, "Yeah."
This is a true point, and we need to highlight this TNTS Greek here. A lot of the imams and scholars and the people running mosques, you need to be aware that there are a lot of revert brothers and even our own born Muslims that are from our Asian communities and Arab communities that are born here do not understand the native tongue. So when you're giving the khutbah in your native tongue, the people are not understanding it, they're not understanding values and morals that you're trying to teach them. So please give your khutbahs in English as much as you can, so everyone is included. You
Do it in
understand?
both languages, Urdu and English.
Yeah.
Is a
No,
problem.
that's exactly what I said.
Urdu and
I said
English.
it's not a problem with being in Urdu or Arabic. The problem is you're not speaking in our native language.
that's right.
So what if I was a non-Muslim but I wanted to come and learn about Islam? And I came in and then I walked away and I thought, oh, I don't want to be Muslim, man.
And
It's,
I
it's not
also
even
think
a
that
foreign
every
language.
person that comes to this country, you should make a real effort to learn English. Because I don't care about you coming and like, I don't know if some people want you to go and drink, but I don't think that's integration. I think integration is learning the language and being able to communicate with people on the street, saying a good morning, a hello, giving a smile and stuff like that is integration. And being good with your neighbours.
You know,
and
it's
stuff.
great that us Brits say that to other people. When we go abroad,
Yeah,
we want to
you
eat fish
don't
and
learn
chips.
nothing.
we want a pub. We want
Everyone
some
should
food.
speak English.
And we'll go up to a French taxi. Go, what, mate? Where are you going? Why don't you say bonjour?
Brother, this is what I'm gonna say, yeah. You know, touching on that point, when people come to this country, they're immigrants, refugees, asylum seekers. When these lot go to other countries, they're only expats.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah? So they're
That's
not
a great
immigrants.
point.
So
That's
they're
a
not
great
immigrants
point.
when they go to Spain and stuff. They're just expats.
yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah, we expect people to speak English because as a young boy, I thought everyone could speak English around the world. It's crazy.
Up north.
English is a very predominant language.
go to somewhere. I mean, we're British.
No. But when an Asian person goes, they're not going to consider you an expat. They're going to say, oh, this man's immigrant.
Yeah, it's got a good point. It's got a good point.
I don't think a lot of people in the world probably know what expat is.
Yeah.
If you go to probably like China, they don't probably
The white people know. The white people know.
Yeah.
So where we live, the white people are the ones that are in power and they matter, right? And they will call you an immigrant and they send themselves an expat. That's what matters, isn't it? So that whole thinking, the whole like the word, it changes your
I
way of
don't think
thinking.
Pakistan, if you go to Pakistan, the average person is not going to know what white person is an expat.
Does the average person in Pakistan affect me and you here today?
No.
So that's what we're getting at. So
Yeah,
the
but he might do.
Okay, but what I'm saying is the people. What I'm saying, the people in power here, brother, they actually affect us, right? And when they label me and you, or people of our colour and denominations, as asylum seekers and refugees and immigrants, and when they themselves go abroad and they just call themselves expats, that is a problem.
Yeah, I don't think we were talking about what the Pakistani
We're
government.
not. I know where you're coming from. On the ground, people may not know the meaning, but we're speaking about people here that know the meaning. We're not talking about politics of other countries.
Yeah, fair enough.
I
Because
know where you're coming
most
from.
people won't even care about that. They'll be like, what is an expat? If you go to any country, France, you could go, they won't know what expat is.
I fully agree with that. I fully agree with that.
Going back to grooming gangs. So you're sort of standing up and saying you're going to do something. Is that your stance?
I'm basically at the moment saying that I recognise there is a problem and it's going on. I'm not.
You recognise the problem, but it's not a Pakistani Muslim problem.
There is
exclusively.
Okay, I'll speak. Exclusively not. But there is, like we've spoken, maybe 256 Pakistanis that have done it. And I wish that I had the names right now and the faces to show you, though. And I would tell them, listen, I'm going to hunt your fuckers down back home and I'm going to let your family know what you've done. You understand what I'm trying to say? But for me, like I said, bro, even one person from my community doing it is too much. So far what I'm doing is just speaking up, accepting that there are people doing it, because these men keep saying, oh, you don't condemn it. But we've condemned it. I've told you what my penalty for them should be. You understand? So if the government is happy with that, let me know, innit?
The thing is, they blame it on the Pakistani culture, and in our country, whoever rapes someone, they get killed. They get death penalty. Like, you know, saying,
Are you Pakistani,
yeah,
bro?
I'm Pakistani.
Let me ask you a question first, yeah? On the camera. I haven't told him to answer this one. Question live now. Brother, in your household, what kind of respect do women get? Tell the camera.
They get the most respect in the house, so we treat them like queens. Like even in our religion and in our culture, like women are the most highest people in the household. We respect them a lot. Like in our religion, we are told to kiss our mother's feet. And we are told that
Lays at mum's feet.
basically
We are told that paradise
in a
lies at your mum's feet. That's
in a
what we're
culture
told.
and our religion, women have the highest status. And if our family members found out that we done anything to a woman, even to kiss the woman, we get beaten up. So imagine rape.
So now, to carry on from that,
And
brother,
think in Zainab,
as the Pakistani, to carry on from that now, let's keep it on point now. To carry on from that, do you think that these 256 Pakistani individuals that have done this throughout the course of, since they've been measuring, do you think at all they're following the culture, Islam or anything? Or do you think that they are following the Western culture of drinking, selling drugs, all these kind of things and taking advantage of women?
exactly, alcohol, weed, this is not our culture. Our culture condemns this type of stuff. And if anyone like drinks or smokes weed, in our culture it's seen as a very bad thing. And we look down upon these people.
I don't think having alcohol in your culture means you're more likely to groom. For me, I don't say that, but I think every I'm not saying that every culture has bad people in it, don't they? And they use whatever power they can to exploit young girls. So you'll have PE teachers that use the changing rooms. You'll have kebab shop owners that use the rooms, and maybe have off-license people that use alcohol or things like that.
Do you think it's satanic? These people are satanic?
Yeah, look, you know what? They're everywhere, aren't they?
No,
Whatever
isn't
culture
it?
you have, whether it's Islamic, Christian, or that you get these bad people that are just, they're just, you get it.
Yeah, they're wired that way. There's nothing we can do.
No,
except for punish them by the law.
Death penalty.
Yeah, man. So at least we agree on that, yeah? Because a lot of people, we speak, even this brother I was speaking to him earlier, and we agreed that it's not actually a Pakistani problem.
No.
I mean, I explained to him, there's so many of us in this country, and only a few of them are doing it, but that problem even needs to be identified, and I agree with that, and we're going to point them out, and we're going to shame them. And when I find out where a lot of you lot are from back home, I'm going to shame you there as well. Your whole family's going to get shamed. Know this, bro. I'm telling you, if you go back home, and your family finds out what you be doing, you're never going back to Pakistan again, innit? You know what's happening there.
They're lucky we're not allowed to walk around with guns, man. We'll shoot them.
Yeah.
No, these are enough to kill these fuckers. Let me have the power to do it by law, innit? Let me have the power.
The death penalty should be brought
I
back
don't need
for
guns and weapons.
rapists,
We'll just slap them
for
down,
murderers
bro.
anyway. And then
I'll be honest to
it
you.
should be.
When I was young, I shouldn't tell you.
And then the prisons
I've
won't
been
be
in
overcrowded
prison,
anyway, you know what I mean?
and people do get done for. They are women
What's
who
your
try
heritage,
to.
sir, if you don't mind asking?
Kashmiri.
So where is that? Azad Kashmir.
Yeah, Azad.
Where does that come under, my brother? Let me deal with it. Let me deal with this. I have to deal with this.
Pakistani corner out.
Please, everyone, let me deal with this.
Kashmir's history is older than India and Pakistan.
Jeez.
Okay, no, one second. I'm
Next
not talking
topic.
about your history, brother. Yeah, like he just said, not a next topic. We're talking about now, present day. You said I'm Kashmiri, and I have a big problem with you Kashmiri brothers. You're the same as me, but I have a problem with you for this, yeah? The problem I have is,
I'm Muslim, though.
bro, I never asked your religion, yeah? I never asked your religion, yeah? I asked you, where are you from? What country are you from, yeah? And you said, I'm from Kashmir. Brother, tell me one thing, yeah? Without Pakistan, is there an Azad Kashmir in this day and age? Without India eating you alive? Let me know, brother.
What you got to understand something is that we're against.
Do this, please.
Typical Muslims actually use this place to sell stuff.
We've been
Yeah, you know, innit?
Pakistan and India.
It
Makes sense, yeah? We're occupied.
But we're not killing you, and they are. One second. Right, just let me deal with it. Just let me deal with it. I'll deal with it nicely. Don't worry. After you come in.
You got to realise something, yeah? Pakistan, obviously, it doesn't give Kashmir, so for instance, yeah, all the electric, all the water is from Kashmir. They don't, all the time, they don't have an electric.
They're going into some politics stuff.
Let him finish.
So they don't give us the electric that belongs to us, which is from our land, yeah? We're not allowed to be in any cricket team, we're not allowed to be in any teams, or anything like that. So obviously, we're not going to say, oh, we're Mr. Pakistan. We're going to say we're the Indians are not looking at us in their teams. When they
Crowds get bigger,
I'm going to ask you again.
get
What
smaller.
country?
You know what I mean?
It's not country.
You're only
It's not
safe
recognized by no. One thing, it's not recognized by no national nation. It's not recognized by no.
So where does Kashmir come under? Pakistan?
Brother, it's Azad Kashmir because Kashmir is split into two
Yeah, but where
parts,
is
right?
Kashmir?
Kashmir is the northwest part of Pakistan,
Right.
and the
It's
northeast.
the Himalayan mountains, basically, yeah? It's much older.
Yeah, but it's not about being older, brother. It's about where are you now? Who are you administered by?
Yeah, but as-
Right? Who are you administered
as
by?
Muslims,
Who gives you
we don't-
protection?
we don't look
One
at-
second. Who gives you protection from invasion? Right? Who gives you everything? Not our army, because it's his army too. But he doesn't want to realise that. Thank you. Okay, now I'll let you take over. Kashmiri against Kashmiri.
You said historically, yeah, Kashmir was not part of Pakistan.
Yeah.
And have you heard of the Indus Valley Civilization?
Yes.
Yeah, of course I have.
And was Kashmir part of the Indus Valley Civilization?
Listen, if you look at the Indus Valley civilization,
That's too far back.
right?
That's too
If
far
you
back.
go that back,
Go
that's
too
like 7,000, 8,000.
They were considered
Go 200-300 years back.
Yeah.
You were ruled by the Sikh Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where was Kashmir
Hold
then?
up, Kashmir was still there.
Oh, you know.
Kashmir was a princely state.
Hold on, one second. A lot of what happened in Kashmir, when Islam came into Kashmir, a lot of people converted to Islam. So a lot of the Hindus and Sikhs came to Islam.
And I'm
You know that?
Kashmiri. You know, like,
There were no
so-
Sikhs.
No, Buddhists. Yeah.
There were no
Buddhists,
Sikhs.
that's it, Buddhists.
No Sikhs.
Buddhists.
Sikhs are 700 years
So when
old.
did Kashmir came into Islam? When did Kashmir come into Islam?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So Kashmir, it must have come about 500-700 years ago.
No, it's more than that.
How long ago?
So you know when Muhammad bin Qasim came to Pakistan, he came in 7th century. So I think Kashmir, like, it took a bit longer to conquer the land, but
Muhammad
eventually.
bin Qasim was the first notable person that is written in history. There have been many people. Sindhis at the South Pakistan.
No, Sindh is PK. Historically, it was called PK.
No. It was called Al-Sindh.
Al-Sindh and Al-Hind. The Arabics distinguish it.
What I'm saying is, you don't see in this present day, that's South
I
Pakistan.
know that. I want to say.
What I'm saying to this brother, you know,
Kashmir
before
part.
Muhammad bin Qasim,
See me, my ancestors,
That's one person.
obviously our ancestors, we've travelled from Turkey, all these
Iran,
areas,
Iran.
Palestine, Iran. We've come over, so we're not we're not originally from there. Do you understand?
So have we.
The Iranians migrated to PK and then mixed it with Kashmiris with Pakistan. My mom's Pakistani.
We're all the same, but what I'm asking you is, this is all irrelevant.
We're diverse.
Brother, this is irrelevant.
We're genetically
You're
the same.
saying you're Kashmiri. Let me know, apart from you yourself, you have your opinion, because that doesn't matter. I respect your opinion, first of all. I'm not degrading your opinion. But in the bigger scheme of things,
If you go and
grand scheme of things, your opinion doesn't matter, right? So what matters is, where does Azad Kashmir, where you reside, where you're from, where does it fall under in the international map that you see in the world?
Okay, so the international map, obviously it's going to fall under Pakistan and India. So it's a divided
No,
country.
where you're from, I'm saying.
Yeah, it's divided country.
Are you from the Pakistan side or the
I'm
Indian
from
side?
both sides because I'm from relatives.
No, I'm asking where are you from?
Me, I'm from both sides.
Are you from Azad or Jammu?
I'm from both.
Bro, you can't have relatives on both
What's your
sides. I'm saying,
nationality?
Of course you can.
Have you got green passport?
No,
Have you got green
you
passport?
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have you got an
See
Aadhaar
me,
card?
where I'm from, I live in one city. That's my city. But I've got relatives from the north, I've got relatives from there. So I can't say I'm from there.
Listen.
I'm asking you, are you from the Pakistan occupied Kashmir or Indian occupied Kashmir?
I'm from India. I was born in India occupied Kashmir.
Okay, so there
But
I see your problem.
I live in Pakistan. My parents live in.
How do the Indians treat your people, bro?
Bro, you're not getting killed.
One second.
Man are getting massacred.
Tell the camera, how many of your youth are being blinded by
all the time.
Taliban?
All the time.
Are they being killed and blinded by us, Pakistanis?
No.
Oh, okay. So, but you're not Pakistani, brother. Okay, you know what? Feast Sabilillah. You know, Feast Sabilillah. We do it for the greater good. And you know what? Even if they don't want to be Pakistani, we respect them for that. But we still protect you because you're Muslim.
I would like to say something. As people in Pakistan, the way they look at Kashmiris is that they look at them as they're unintelligent. Do you understand? And they look at them as a bigotry. They have a form of bigotry. You know, like here we have, some people they look down at people in a bigotry way. The same way as the Pakistani people are bigotry.
I said you're my brother.
Hold on 1 minute.
That's not true. I'm Kashmiri
I'm
myself,
Pakistani,
man.
innit? You're talking about Pakistani people. There's one here, yeah?
Bro, you had your say, innit?
Yeah, but there's one here, so
Bruv, let me say my say, innit?
I look down on you.
Yeah, but let me say my
I'm
say.
Kashmiri, bro. He doesn't look
Let
at
me
me.
say, right. So in Kashmir, if you go to Pakistan, the Pakistan army, they don't let none of the Kashmiris become generals, become sergeants. Do you understand? Because it's bigotry towards them. Because the way they look at the Kashmiris is that they're from the mountains, the hillbillies. The so-called hillbilly scenario. Like if you go to America, they say, oh, these people are from the mountains, they're hillbillies. They don't know what's going on. But if you look at Kashmiris, most of the Kashmiri people, they all live in England and America. So if you go to Kashmir, it's completely different. All the roads, all the houses are very clean, all the roads are good, the houses are massive. If you go to Pakistan, it's completely different. So we're talking about different kind of people. We're talking about rural people that live in the Himalayan mountains compared to people who live in Pakistan that live in a desert.
Yeah.
So these are completely different people. So they treat each other differently. So I don't see that. I see that Pakistan's army has come into Kashmir and taken over Kashmir. I see India's army has come into Kashmir and has taken over Kashmir. I see both of these two parties, India and Pakistan, working together to keep the control of Kashmir. Why do they want to control Kashmir? Because they know that is where all their water is coming from. So all the water that supplies the big rivers of Pakistan and India, the water comes from the mountains of Kashmir. So obviously India and Pakistan have a reason to try to occupy them. I'm completely against both of them. I'm not with the Pakistanis and I'm not with the Indians. Because if you look at India, there's more Indians in Pakistan. There's more Indians in India than there is in all of Pakistan. So you've got to understand, I'm not with none of them. Even though there's more Indians in India and there's Pakistan is Muslim majority. I'm not with none of them because both the countries are trying to occupy my country to take its wealth. So they're taking the water, they're taking all the water, they're taking the hydropower, all this stuff. They're taking from us. When instead of, if they wanted to help us, they could say, look, we want to help you, and we want to we want to invest in schools, we want to invest in schools to teach the children. But do they do that? No. What do? They go and make big dams to put electricity into their own countries, and they don't care about the children that are in Kashmir. Do you understand?
Bro,
so I'm completely
Kashmiri
against Pakistan.
No, I'm a Kashmiri myself here, and he's acting like Kashmir is a proper deprived area where there's people starving out there. If you've been to Mirpur, you can see the houses. The houses are even better than Islamabad. Kashmir is a very good area. Even the Indian-occupied Kashmir was meant to be part of Pakistan, but because of the politics, it joined India. But if you ask the Indian Kashmiris themselves, they say they want to be part of Pakistan. When they die,
we are completely against Pakistan because
I'm a Kashmiri myself.
I'm Muslim.
He's not talking for me.
So I'm Muslim. I'm a Republican.
He's a Kashmiri. I'm a Kashmiri, and I know many Kashmiris that love Pakistan and they love their army. But because of the politics right now, there's like a lot of problems going on. But then there's Kashmiri like him that don't like Pakistan. Even they're so ungrateful because our army protects them. If our army were there, their land would be occupied by India and they get slaughtered, just like the Jammu Kashmir.
Cut out, boys, by the way.
Right, just like the Jammu Kashmir. They're finishing it.
But the point of the matter is,
how long you got left?
The point of the matter is, he might say he's from
Basically,
Kashmir. Whatever he can say.
Jammu Kashmiris are getting killed, yeah. And
I'm a proper Kashmiri.
He wants to have his own country.
He's
It'll be impossible.
It's
India would occupy this country. Pakistan loves Kashmiris. I'm a Kashmiri myself. My mom's Pakhtun, and us Kashmiris and Pakistanis love each other.
Kashmiri.
Oh, where there we go? How can you say that? I'm a Kashmiri, bro. He's a liar. He's a liar.